Hello everyone. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a form and report with form. As you can see from the previous applications, I have done quite a few different pages here. So for right now, I'm going to create a new page which is called report with form. So you just go ahead and click on create page. From the create page here, you can click on form. And inside form, the first option would be perfect for us. So it's called report with form on table. So go ahead and click on that and say next. The report page numbers are usually automatic. So as you can see here, the report page number is one less than the form page number because form page number usually does modification and updates. So that usually is the second page. The first page invokes the form page. So report page number here, let's call this to be project. So I have done quite a few examinations here. So let's try project report with form test. I used the project table quite a few times today. So let's use the same table here. So for the form, I'm going to call this to be form for the project report. Okay. And also test. You can add other page groups. You can also add breadcrumbs. So my feeling is if you have many pages, then page group could be very useful. Since this is only a test, so I'm going to skip all that option here. So I'm going to say next. I will be using create new navigation menu entry. Once again, this gives you the menu entry on the left-hand side, so which makes it more descriptive. So this is called project report with form test. And this will make my project easier to navigate so I can add it easily. As you can see from my navigation here, you already see a page called project report with form. That's all for my previous test. So actually I already have something. So yours should be completely empty for now. So you can click on next. So for the table view here, I will be using the same table again, so which is called project. There you go. It will show you all the columns, and all the columns are automatically selected. If you don't want any specific column, for example, project lead, if you don't want it, then you can just click on this remove, and that will be removed. Nextly, so this will be saying managed by database, or the row ID is automatic, which may not suit my purpose here. So I'm going to select primary key columns. So using that. And for all of these, primary key in my case here is called ID number. I don't have any sequence. If you don't have a sequence, then you should be using the sequence that's been created here. Once again, sequence gives you an automatic way for updating your ID number and so on and so forth, right? So I'm going to say create. You will see the page right here. So I will be test this out and see what is happening, right? So I will be clicking on save and run. Let's just see what happens here. So this is a new page I have created here. It looks very nice with a create button and with a little pencil here on the side. As you can tell, the pencil means you're editing. So for instance, right? So if you recall, the first row was what I have created, which is a fake data. It's okay, but it's not very nice looking, right? So I mean, the status ID, you just have one number. Why do you bother to have such a long row? And second of all, the status ID here looks like I can type anything, so 135. But that's not true at all, right? Because if you look at my project object browser, if you go to the project status, so as you can see here, the IDs are just 1 and 2 and 3. There's no 500, so I shouldn't be able to enter a 500 here. So status ID can be changed. Name is the name of the project, so that can be changed easily as well. Description, that can be changed. Budget can be changed. So overall, this is the form page, and we do see a couple of places we can improve. In particular, the design has to be improved dramatically. So let's click on this little button here called Edit Page. Once you're on Edit Page here, in the middle here, this is a layout. And layout here, So for instance, the title says form on sample. Well, I don't want to see the word sample, right? So I can say form on projects, right? So you can also be more descriptive, say this is an update form on projects. And nextly, the status ID doesn't have to be such a long row. So we can change that also, right? So for example, we can put name onto the same line with ID, status ID. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just highlight that name, just click on that for one time. So when you click on that one time here, on the right hand side here shows you all the page properties, right? So if you scroll down a little bit more, floating just means you're floating according to the screen size. So if you scroll down a little bit more, and there should be an option here saying, so let me go down there and then I can show you. There should be an option saying you don't want this to be on the next row. Where did that go? 1 second. So there's a value required. So for example, you can say value required no more than 255. Oh yeah, right here. So in start new row, just say no. So now as you can see here, both of these are on the same line. Description should be very long. That's okay to be on the next line. So budget should be on the same line with project lead. So I'm going to do the same here. So I'm going to say no on this. Completion date. Completion date is just a date. Should not be very long. Created and created by. Created is a date as well. So this doesn't have to be on a separate line. So we can just do the same here. So same thing here. Doesn't have to be on a separate line. Created by. Updated is also a date. So it's also a date picker. So we'll do the same here. So we'll just say doesn't have to be on the next line. Updated by is the person's name, which is a text area. And this can be on the next line. We'll just deal with this later on. So if you want to change some of the lines, you can also change like so, like using drag and drop, like how I did it. So let's assume that's what you have here. Status ID has to be some checkings, right? So status ID must be choosing from an existing field. It cannot be just any numbers. So if I go to type here, as you can tell, I don't want this to be a number field. Not every user can select anything. So I'm going to say select list. Select list means you immediately see I have an error message here because I didn't choose the select value here. So I'll be choosing share components. Remember, share components is shared among all the project's data. So I will be choosing status ID lookup. So this gives me the flexibility for choosing what's existing as a status ID. Okay, so once you're finished, make sure you save this project and run this project again. Okay, so you can save it. So it does look better. Not dramatically better. So I guess you can modify according to your project, right? So depending on your purpose and what exactly you want to change from your project. But one really positive change here is that status ID, you can no longer type in your own 100, 500, crazy numbers. You should only be selecting one of the existing ones. All right. So this is a conclusion to report with form. Thank you for listening.